You're on.
Well, Paul, you just have everything going for you at the moment. Late in the evening, high on the charts. Album doing well, motion picture, concert tour. How come all of a sudden all this activity?
Well, it's not all of a sudden. It's something that I've been working on for years. The album and the film were written together as a piece because the music in the film is as important as the dialogue. And I released the album about a month prior to the film because I hoped that the familiarity with the songs would make it easier when you first heard the music on the screen, because the music was important for the emotional storyline. And the tour is because I just haven't toured in almost 5 years, and now I have my band together and I have new material to perform, and it's just a natural time to go out when everything's happening.
Does it come as a surprise to you that Late in the Evening is the song from the album that's riding so high on the charts?
Yeah, you know, Bobbie, I'm a notoriously bad picker of singles. I almost never pick the singles on my albums, and I always leave it up to the record company to pick it, record company and radio. So whatever they pick, you know, I figure they know more than I do. So I'm not surprised. I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was something else, and I'm not surprised that it's this, and I wouldn't have been surprised if it was a flop, and I'm not surprised that it's a hit. It's just something I don't know about. I just write the music and I'll make the records, and I don't think about hits.
Even Scarborough Fair and Mrs. Robinson, did you not feel that they were hit material?
Oh, in that case, I definitely didn't think so, no. In fact...
Did not think so?
No, I didn't. In fact, I had great doubts about Bridge Over Troubled Water. And I remember at the time saying maybe it was too long to be on the radio, because it was almost 5 minutes, and I asked them if they thought maybe it was too long. But I don't make that decision, see, and it's so I don't feel any pressure, but, you know, of it. I just leave it up to record companies to pick.
How many Grammys do you have? Over 20, isn't it?
Oh no, it's not 20.
I read it was 21.
You did? It's
Yeah.
No, it's
What
not
is it
20.
more like?
12 or 13 or something.
Well, even so, 12 or 13, a dozen or a baker's dozen, as we say. When you get that many, Paul, do they tend to lose some of their significance?
You know, awards are very... No, they don't lose significance. They are what they are. They're a recognition by a certain group of people of your work. They don't validate your work, and not getting it doesn't invalidate your work. It's more pleasurable to get them than not to get them. But that's really what it is, and that's not the judge of work. And I don't mean to say that it's not pleasurable to walk up on a stage and collect the award and say, thank you very much, and do whatever false humility you can bring up for that time. But really, it's not, you know, I don't think people make music for awards or for gold records.
You just write what
don't.
inspires you.
I don't. Yeah, I write what I have to write. I write because that's what I do. I have no other choice. I just seem to write.
Paul, let me ask you about now this movie. You have written not only the music, but you have written the movie. Did you find writing dialogue easier or more difficult than writing lyrics?
I found writing dialogue to be not difficult. It not so dissimilar to writing music in that it had to do with my ear and my recollection of sound. But what I did find difficult was structuring plot and scenes, and keeping the dramatic the dramatic shape of the screenplay in such a form that that it would work.
When you looked at the movie, when you saw it in its final cut, what feelings did you have about it? Were you tremendously proud? Were you scared? Are you fearful the audiences won't understand, won't like it? What's going through your mind at this time?
Well, you know, I've seen the movie many, many times, so it's really not a question of seeing it on its final cut, because I worked on it all through the editing, and I've seen the movie so much that it's no longer, it's another experience for me. I don't have an objectivity about the movie. Naturally, I hope that people will like it, and I think it's that it was as good a job as I could have done, and I'm proud that I accomplished it. I think it's flawed, you know, and
In what way?
well, I won't go into what way it's flawed. I don't want to tell people what's wrong with it. But for me, if I were to do it again, not this film, but it's another film, if I were to do it again, I would be able to learn from the lessons of having done this first film in all its stages, from the writing of the screenplay to the acting to the editing. The process was well over a year's process, and naturally I really learned a lot from it, so the next time I would be able to use that information. But my feeling is that I'm proud that I was able to do this. It was the first time I tried, and the fact that it actually is a movie and exists, and a few years ago it didn't exist and it was just an idea. That's a source of pride to me. Yes.
A dream come true. In many ways, must be.
Have it your way, okay. No, it's not a dream come true.
No?
That wasn't my dream. It was something that I wanted to do in terms of my creative energies. I wanted to move into a field that was adjacent to music, so that I would not be solely concentrating on recording and writing music, and that's why I moved here.
I'm glad you did, Paul, and I'm glad I had a chance to talk with you today here in Los Angeles. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Best of luck with the movie,
Oh,
the tour, and the album, the
Thank
single,
you.
everything.
That's kind of you to say.
And cut.
Cut away.
Oh, all right.
Movie is
Okay.
cut.
Okay.
Single.
Okay.
Hold it.
One second.
Let him go in. You can roll.
Hold it right there.
Looking at about here, good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right to the body is this one. Yeah, a little this angle.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobbie right here.
Okay.
Roll tape, speed. Okay, good.
Well, Paul, you've got everything going for you, it seems. Here you are with a single high on the charts, the album doing well. You're going on tour. You've got this movie coming out. How come all of this activity here at one time?
Might as well let you stay for some reaction here. Good. I think that'll do it. Cut.
Okay, fine.
Why don't you get a shot of the album while we're here, and then she'll have a cutaway.